Hello. There we go. And we'll get rid of that echo. Just wanted to make sure that was making some noise there. Cool. Okay. Looks like we are good to go on YouTube. I will check my Facebook. Get that shared. There's running. Queue up here. HuthAvian page, and then we'll get birding. Okay. That seems to be working. Close these out so I'm not overly taxing my internet here. And it seems stuff is going. I'm not getting any messages from anyone saying that stuff isn't working, so I'm going to operate under the assumption that it is. If anything is going wrong, let me know, and compared to the last stream, this one is more likely to have interruptions throughout, because I'm going to be walking around and I'm going to be using just like that. I'm going to be bumping things because, let's see if this... Because this is what I'm dealing with right here. That is my setup that I'm going to be carrying all around the place here. So we'll see how well this works, and cell phone service is a little spotty. So yeah, there we go. Cell phone service is spotty, so if I walk out of a service area, things might get a little bit annoying and laggy. And if you can't hear me, just let me know. I'm going to be switching back and forth between several different microphones, and I think this one is just, yeah, it's the audio coming directly from the camera for the wide-angle camera. And when I zoom in with the bigger camera, I will attempt to use two different microphones. So we're hearing a few birds right now. There's, of course, the eastern phoebe is going phoebe, phoebe, all over the place. We've got lesser goldfinches. They're the tew, twee. Let's see, let's turn that off. And we've got Carolina wrens. Let's go see if we can track down some of these. See if we get any internet service near the feeders. And the water feature would be great. Otherwise, we will walk around wherever there is internet and see what we can find. Should be some interesting birds out here today. Let me get my phone set up so I'm not completely draining my battery and can still see my internet readout. And oh, this is going to get heavy. Okay, so I'm carrying a tripod in one hand here, so excuse the shake. Let's see what we can find over here. So this, for those of you that don't know, is the parking lot area of Warbler Woods. It is a privately owned bird sanctuary, so you're welcome to come out. Just be sure to check with the owner before you do. And you can go to warblerwoods.org for information there to request your access, or if you want to donate a little bit and help keep the sanctuary running. It only runs on donations, so every little bit is appreciated. I'm hearing hummingbirds. This is a nice little hummingbird garden area. We'll stop for a second. And let's see. It is Saturday, so there are probably going to be other birders around here. So if I get quiet and start whispering, I'll try and keep up, but I don't want to scare birds away or be annoying to the other birders that are around here either. Let's see if we can find this Phoebe. That would be a good first bird to start with. Hearing it up there, going Phoebe, Phoebe. Warbler Woods is in Cibolo. It's just outside of New Braunfels, a little south of New Braunfels, not all the way to San Antonio. So about an hour away from Wimberley. Now this that we're hearing over here is the alarm call of a Carolina wren. See if I can bring it down. I can see it. Hoping. That's it right there, kind of in the shadow. You can, if it would focus on it, you can still kind of see the buffy belly, but it's backlit and the camera wants to focus on the stuff in the foreground. Oh, there's two Carolina wrens here. They're making all kinds of noise. We are being approached by wild birders. Just saying, we're being approached by wild birders. Welcome to the internet. So we've got hummingbirds. Lots of mostly just been getting the live stream set up. If you don't know, I'm live online, so.
You haven't been to the Scout Pond yet?
No, I haven't.
Said that was the hot spot yesterday.
That's probably where I'll head next, because I think the internet should still be pretty stable out there. Getting further into the woods, I'll start losing connection, and well, have to have cell service to keep the stream going.
I'm heading to the yard. I'm gonna go get the birds. Man, you got quite the setup, Jesse.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's streaming on YouTube and Facebook right now. So.
Approached by wild birds.
Yep.
Okay, wild birds.
Let's see. Okay. Well, there's a few birds around here. I'm getting texts for people trying to access my stream. If you'll excuse a little bit of a pause, I'm going to try and get that information to these people. Let's see if I can figure out an easy way to do it here with only one hand on my phone. See, so that high-pitched chip, 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 chip. Those are the hummingbirds flying around here. Here, I'll I'll focus on some of these nice red flowers over here while I'm fiddling with my phone. And we'll see if there's any hummingbirds that show up. Probably black chin or ruby throat will be the ones to get around here. Let's see. Get my link here. And send this on a text. Okay. So there are hummingbirds. Let's see how crowded it is back here as far as the amount of birders are. Because I don't want to be talking a lot and disturbing people's peace. And there is also the whole pandemic thing going on, where you don't want to be around crowds of people anyway. Let's see. There's a few people, but we can check it out. And there's the Warbler Pond rules. So it is a quiet area, so we're going to have to be a little bit more whispery here, but I'll try and get closer to the microphone. If you need me to clarify anything, again, I can read your chat messages, so just let me know there. Let's see if I can navigate the gate with all of this stuff. Anything good showing up? Okay, cool, nice. Alright, so this is the Warbler Pond. And it looks like, yeah, there isn't anyone here right now. So I can give you a little tour of this place. Once I get through here. Here we are. Okay. So this is the Warbler Pond at Warbler Woods. Lots of good stuff comes in here. It's a great little water feature here, right over here. And you can see this is a lot of effort went into this, and many a rare bird has been spotted coming here. There's some nice bird feeders, a little hummingbird feeder, and the rest of the garden around the area. So it's a nice place to come sit. It's spring migration, fall migration. Even in the heat of the day, it's shady back here, so the birding is good. Birds come down to the water, but also be sure to check all the nice tall trees around here, because you can get a lot of birds from there. So don't get too focused on just watching the pond. Be sure to check the trees every now and then, because I've had red starts hopping around up there, black-throated green warblers. Let's see. Let me get my screen turned down a little dimmer here. And I'm going to, while we'll sit here for a little bit, see if anything comes into the water feature, and then we'll walk over through a field to a bigger pond that sometimes get birds in it as well. So far, not much right here. The birdcast forecast showed that there should be some decent migrant activity today. So hopefully we'll catch some migrant warblers. But I'm going to plug in and get my battery running here, my external battery, so I'm not running out of power halfway through the stream on my mobile device. Either of my mobile devices. Let's see how I can do this with one hand again. See, so far just hearing the phoebes. Oh, there's a little hummingbird. Yeah, you can see it buzzing around. It's a female. Come on, get your beak up. It's either ruby throat or black chin. Little tiny screen is not the easiest way to bird. I did not end up having room on my body for my actual binoculars, so I am only seeing what you're seeing. See that? It might be a ruby throat. It's looking a little gray like a black chin, but the beak looked short. It's one of the two. Let's see if we can get a better look at one of those guys later. I got a request to view the pond a little bit. There's a little closer zoom on the pond. Oh, here comes a hummingbird onto the feeder. If it will focus on the bird, that would be wonderful. Come on, focus. Well, it's saying it's focusing, but it's not wanting to focus on the bird. Come on. Maybe it'll focus on the tree. There we go. With the hummingbird next to it. Well, we'll just leave it on the feeder as I fiddle around with my electronics. So far, mostly just the hummingbirds. External power. Move a little bit out of the way here, get out of the path, because there are other birders approaching. Good morning.
Only one rule. No pictures of the house.
All right.
House doesn't belong in the Warbler Woods.
Yes.
So I put those birds in the freezer.
Oh, good. Thank you.
There is, oh, hummingbird.
Yeah, this is pretty much dead.
Yeah, I think I'll go over to Scout Pond.
Is
That's
where the action is, but it's very fast. I went over there and they're just zipping all over.
all right. I'll practice my camera focusing ability.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll walk over to the pond. Thing is, the camera didn't want to focus on the hummingbird feeder. I think the light is too low for the little camera to do it. So, off we go. See you later. There we go. Okay, we'll go for a little hike. I'll take some stops every now and then for birds and to rest my arm from carrying this one-handed rig. caught by rose bushes. The gate. Around the corner. And off we go. Lots of hummingbirds. We'll try to get a better look at some of the hummingbirds later. Maybe when there's a little better light. Trail. I always forget which trail is the easiest one to go down. They both end up there, but I think this is the one that's a little better. At least that I've had more luck on. And stop to rest the shoulder. Let's check my connection. Good, good, good. And in case you're wondering what this thing is, that's my big camera, because I've got the little camera sitting on top of the big one, so I can carry both at the same time. I can swap to the big one whenever we want to get a closer look at a cooperative bird. I need to figure out some kind of harness for this to carry it easier. Let's see. Let me know if the noise picks up. I'm turning on one of my cooling fans for the Surface device that I'm streaming off of to try and prevent it from overheating too badly. I think I solved the issue where I turned off the microphone that was sitting right next to the fan, but if I didn't, just let me know. Okay. Well, I'm not hearing much, and my arm is ready to move again, so off we go. It's a little quiet now. Odd, I'm not even hearing the cardinals. They must all be at my feeders. I counted about 30 of them yesterday. Hearing chickadees. There, I heard a cardinal chip. It was distant, don't know if the microphone caught it. It's there. Well, I solved my big camera turning itself off. Now I've got to figure out how to stop the little camera from turning itself off. So bear with the occasional blackouts. If I don't fiddle around with it, it shuts itself down to save power. But I don't want it to shut itself down to save power because I'm not recording anything on it, just streaming. Yeah, there, over here. Chip, chip, that's a cardinal. Won't spend too much time looking for him. If you want to see a cardinal, check out my last stream. There's plenty of them there on that recording. Alright, here's the field. Internet's still holding, or maybe not. I'm getting a little drop frames here alert, but I think once we get out of the forest, we'll be good to go again. Apologies for any stuttering on the video. Here we go. Let's see what we've got around here. Okay, we are still having some connection issues for some reason here. Don't know why. So if it's going all jittery and bouncy, I think it's still transmitting audio fine. The image just might freeze every now and then. Until I get somewhere with a little bit more stable internet. Kind of going in and out. Not sure why it can transmit for a couple seconds and then not. I should just get a dedicated hotspot at some point. Or there, that seems to be a little better. But out here in this field, a lot of times we get swallows, martins, sparrows. It's a little early for the large numbers of sparrows to show up. It might come back again later in the winter time. See if we can see a few more sparrows. Wow, we're getting birders from every direction. There's birders by the pond. There's birders coming up behind us. May have to find another spot just so my constant talking doesn't disturb everyone. I'm hearing an angry vireo behind us. Could be white-eyed. A little fuss. I might go check him out. Looks like my internet has stabilized. Okay, good. Audio still going through, but video is stuttering occasionally. Yeah, at least it's staying connected. That's about the best we can hope for. Let me move out of the path for these guys coming up. The appropriate distance. We'll see if anything else shows up here. Well, there's something. Up there, looks like probably a vulture. Or just part of the tower. Good morning. So these are white-eyed vireos that I'm hearing. Two white-eyed vireos. They may move again and look for one of those vireos, as the pond is occupied right now with other birders. Here we find this vireo. They are difficult to see. Well, he may be a little more out in the open here. It seems like he's sitting up in this tree singing. Ah, I think I do have him. There he is, hopping. There, white-eyed vireo. Moving up. Being quite vocal. I think the other one that started up a little bit further down the path got him a little riled up. Where'd he go? There he is. And again, backlit. But he is indeed there. Let's see. I think since he's being fairly cooperative, I'm going to try swapping over to my bigger camera. And let's see how this works. It is going to go black for a second, just because I have to switch the cable. So going dark and quiet in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we're back. Let me know if you have any issues hearing me. If there's any odd sound issues. Let's see. Of course, he's hopped further back into the tree now. It's going to be a little harder to see. I can locate him. Let's see, I'll try a little pishing, see if he might come out. Oh, well, it's not him, but there's a blue-gray gnatcatcher right in here. There it is. Oh wait, no, it's a wren. It's a Buick's wren. Backlit by the sun. Horribly backlit by the sun. Pop out again. I think my fishing might be attracting the canine instead of just the birds. Seems I've moved back into the unstable internet zone. Hopefully some of these pictures are getting through. I just heard an Oriole flight call. Drip. Yeah, that sounds like some type of Oriole is up here. Excuse the blurriness of the camera right now. This one doesn't have autofocus. Well, I'm moving at least, and I'm trying to get a better angle on what this Oriole might be. Yeah, still hearing the white-eyed vireo. I think the Oriole, it indeed was an Oriole, may have moved on. Let's see, we've got more phoebes. I'm hearing white-eyed vireo is further down now. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a look at him. Oh, well, here's a mockingbird. Let's see. Get you in the camera. Yeah, there's 2 mockingbirds. And they're flying away. very muffled. Let's see what else I can do here. Not sure if any of this is improving it. Maybe my connections aren't fully in. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I can get my monitor on and hear some of it myself. Oh, I know what I can do. I can try turning this up, maybe. See if that does any better. There. Let's see if that's any clearer on the audio. I turned it up a little bit. Hopefully that will help a little bit. That's the problem with these very directional microphones, which I have on this big camera right now, is they capture the sound of the bird that it's pointing at, but since I'm standing behind the microphone, I've tried splicing in a second one that I've got in front of my face, but I don't know how good the quality is coming from that one. Since we're not actively seeing any birds that I can zoom the camera in, I'm going to switch back to the wider field camera. So excuse the darkness in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. That should be hopefully a little clearer sounding audio. Okay, looks like I kind of fixed the audio before. Just had to crank some stuff up and there's yet, oh, more birders. Let's see. We might be able to find something this way since the pond, everyone's over there, so the birding's probably pretty good. Well, we'll get a little closer to the pond without disturbing anyone with my chattering at apparently nothing. So I'm not sure people understand what exactly I'm talking to. I'll check the pond out. Yeah, there's room at the benches over here now without getting up close and personal. Heard the Buick's wren. See, we'll face the pond here in case anyone doesn't want to be on camera. Okay. Might be getting a little wind noise. This should be a good place to stop. Okay. So this is Scout Pond. Oh, I see some birds. I think they might have just been house sparrows. Oh, there's the feeders. Let's see what's on the feeders. Titmouse and very blurry birds. I'm going to switch back to the big camera and get that nice and focused on the feeder ahead of time so you have something to look at. And darkness coming back as I swap over in 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're back. Alright, got some little guys here. Let's get a little zoom in. Yep, house sparrows.
Catch anything good?
Well, got some house sparrows. These look like all female house sparrows. Let's see if I can bump the light up a little bit. For those of you who have not seen house sparrows, which I would hope everyone has seen a house sparrow at least once. But since there's nothing else moving around, I might as well have a look at something. Yeah, that one on the upper right looks like a young male. He's starting to get his black throat in. But notice the big chunky bill and just the shape of the sparrow's very heavy set body, big head. That separates it from all our native sparrows. They usually look a little bit more delicate. You can get bigger sparrows, but they're not usually as fat and chunky as these guys. Plus these guys have a much bigger bill than a good amount of our other sparrows. Big yellow bill, something like a fox sparrow could have something similar, but just the build, the shape, and of course the coloration you can start looking at the field marks and tell you it's a house sparrow. Camera shutters going off, so there must be something over there. And wade into the middle of the group. We'll just see what shows up over here. Behind all the other birders. And frequently, birds like to sneak up behind the group. So just a tip, if you are ever birding in a group, take a minute to spin around and look behind you from time to time. I'm seeing that things are getting a little bit blurry or low quality on the video right now, so I apologize for that.
You birding too? Are you birding as you go?
I'm live streaming actually. I'm on YouTube and Facebook right now. So I'm currently looking at house sparrows.
All before I catch you.
Oh!
Really? It's the best thing to match.
Around the pond here?
Yeah. I didn't actually see it. I saw the photos.
Okay.
It has, it's an empty. It has a nice eye ring. It's sort of shaped like a head of bird. Flattened top and bottom, and then it's to this tree.
But it wasn't vocalizing? Okay. Yeah, I'm not vocalizing. I wouldn't call it between willow and alder, and probably leave it. Right. Impids.
Yeah.
Always tricky.
The images I have, I would, Bill doesn't have that.
Well, there's variations between the two. I've seen.
Used to be one species.
Yeah, it used to be trails flycatcher. So I usually, if I'm here, I just call them trails flycatcher, because there's so much overlap that I've seen even been at bird banding stations where they were having arguments over a bird in the hand over which one is which.
Very good. So I don't call them talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can swing around here. Here's the little flycatcher. There he is. Yeah. So if we come back out again. Getting a little bit too much traffic sounds. Hopefully that'll change now that I've pointed the camera a little bit away from the road. flycatcher's right up there somewhere. There, it's coming back out. See if I can get in time. Yeah. There's our little flycatcher. Okay, yeah, small eye-ring. Belly. See what your primaries look like going off. Yeah, he flew across the path. Good thing about flycatchers is they come back sometimes. Maybe we can get a better look at him. And maybe if we're lucky, he'll make some noise. He'll go pip or whit. Yeah, it'll be caught on audio. I've got lesser goldfinches that I'm hearing. I think that would be, I'd probably get it tangled up with cables right now, but thanks for the offer. But yeah, I think for now I'm just going to kind of slowly walk around, see what I can see. I'll probably come back and do another stream again when the sparrows all return. And I might take some time to set up in a cart. It's definitely easier. Not any wintering status. Yeah. I've had field sparrows, but there's usually some that stick around all summer. I've had them in a few locations. I haven't had them on my feeder for a long time. This one was the first one to come to my feeder for several months, but I've seen them in other places. I think there's a small nesting population of them in some of the grasslands around here. Yeah, yell if you see something else interesting. See if I can get a better look at this flycatcher. There's cardinals. So yeah, the flycatcher that we were discussing. Let's see. Cardinals flying over. I don't see many other birds moving right now, so I'm going to move back to the wide field camera. Darken for you. Okay. Now we're back. Should have a little bit clearer audio. If I turn the camera there, I have no trouble streaming. If I turn it 40 degrees to the left, then the internet goes out. So hopefully this is streaming okay and not getting too much traffic sounds. But the flycatcher we were talking about was an Empidonax flycatcher. Showed up for a few seconds. If you think you should be able to scroll back in the stream and get a look at him. I managed to get him in focus for a short period of time. Hopefully that transmitted. But it's an Empidonax flycatcher, the small green flycatchers that are the bane of many people's existence in trying to identify because they look very similar. Now there's a few that do come through here. You get least, alder, willow, you get Acadian occasionally, yellow-bellied, and this one believed to be alder or willow. I don't like calling it one way or another. If you look at the two birds side to side, they are nearly identical, and in some cases they are exactly identical, and you can only tell them apart. Willow call goes wit, and alder's call goes pip. So you don't have to wait for them to sing. They usually don't do that during migration, but if you hear them even do a little contact call, you should be able to identify your little empid. And the other empids have different variations of little single note calls that they do. But this one, it wasn't yellow-bellied. It wasn't yellow on the belly enough. It wasn't a least flycatcher. Their heads are rounder and they have a bigger circular white eye ring. And it didn't really look like an Acadian. Again, they're a little bit longer, they're stretched out. the easiest way to tell the Acadian is the primary wing feathers. They stick out really far from the wing. They have very long, it's called primary projection. They stick out very, very far. And when you look at some of the others, like least flycatcher, it has very short primary projection. Willow alder, they have moderate primary projection. So if you see it, that it's very, very long primary feathers, and I obviously can't show you pictures right now, but you have the internet, I do not. You can look up these different emprids, and I think there's some charts. Oh, Oriole, Baltimore Oriole. Oh, zoom in. And he's gonna fly away. Come on, land. Nope, he flew off. Not sure if any of that carried over, but it was a bright orange bird with an all black head. So, Baltimore Oriole. Might walk down there in a second, especially if I hear him. It looks like he landed about where I thought I heard the Oriole the first time. That would be quite nice. Power cable's coming undone, but back to empids. Primary projection is one way you can tell them apart. But willow versus alder, unless you hear them, I don't call them. But they used to be a single species called trails flycatcher. So if all else fails, call it trails. Listen for a second, see if there's anything else. Now there's white-winged doves flying over. See if there's anything else on that feeder. Yeah, female cardinal. Hearing more mockingbirds. Ooh, there's a little guy. Might be our flycatcher again. Just flew across the gap here. I hear fussing. That's probably a wren. Wren or a vireo. Let's see. Pop out. Come on, little guy. No, that sounds like a vireo. Yeah, white-eyed vireo. Doing a little bit of a song now, along with the fussy call. Let's see. I'm gonna move up a little bit. Maybe get a little better angle. Here. See him moving right in there. So he is right in here. I saw the movement. You can hear him. Sounds like he's trying to sell you some cheap cigarettes. Cheap cigarettes. Oh, there we go. Is that him? No, that is a bunting. Yeah, that looks like a female or first-year painted bunting. Let's see. Yeah. See, I'll switch back over to my big camera. Darken 3, 2, 1. Of course. There we go. Okay. Now it looks like the little bird just flew. It was a painted bunting juvenile. Pretty sure it was a juvenile. It looked pretty drab. Let's see if we might find this. Oh, I see yellow. That might be a warbler. Let's see. on in there. Internet is not not sure why it's having trouble. It seems to be having plenty of bars. See if this regular will come out. Oh, I see something there. Movement. Hopping. Probably going to come down to the water. It looks like he's making his way down towards the water. This wasn't the yellow bird. Sure it was. It was a warbler. I'm sure it was yellow. Wasn't it like a morning? A couple days ago. Flew across the path and straight into that brush. Not coming out. Okay. Can you hear me here? Is that any better? I think we're getting... I don't know how that's going to work. With the wind noise. Traffic is just trying to hunger all the birds over, so it's like different. And there's no other sound that is good. Blue gray gnatcatcher. There we go. Blue gray gnatcatcher. Blue gray? Yep. Blue gray. Flycatcher came back. Now this might be coming right here. Yeah. The flycatcher just hopped right down. Traffic comes back whenever I point the camera towards the road, which is sadly where the birds are. these. Little Wilsons? Oh, okay, that must have been the yellow thing I saw fly across. Flycatcher just flew behind us, I think. Here are the white-eyed vireo, cheap cigarettes. Yeah, I think the problem is I've got two microphones hooked up, and whenever the directional one that's pointing at the road picks up the car, it auto-adjusts the level lower, and that drowns out my sound. So we might just go walk around a little more, a little farther away from the road. Seems like there's lots of birds coming in here, but we'll give it a few more minutes, see what might show up, because I'm seeing another movement here. There we go. It's like a young white-eyed vireo. For the sake of audio, I'll switch back to the wider field camera. Doesn't do quite as good on zoom in, but at least you'll be able to hear me. So dark in 3, 2, 1. And back. There. That should be a little bit easier on the ears, hopefully. Oh, there's the flycatcher. I think it's the flycatcher was just in the top of that tree there. Oh, coming out. No, that was a house finch.
Oh. So was that an alder flycatcher?
It was a trails flycatcher.
Trails.
So alder or willow.
Okay. And then did you see a yellow warbler
I
floating around the middle?
I saw something yellow.
Yeah.
Someone else said they had a Wilson's. I didn't get on. Oh, was the Wilson?
Wilson's
was over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this.
This one, we just got that brilliant yellow.
Yeah.
And couldn't get any
The only.
head or feel
Yeah, the
marking.
impression I got of that one was yellow. Capital Y, yellow.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
But,
there's your flycatch over at
Oh.
11 o'clock behind this big. You'll have to move.
oh yeah. Which is good because there's shade and more internet over
Yep,
here.
yep.
There he is.
You see him at the
Yep.
like at midnight?
So
Okay,
I'm.
now-
Yeah, he flew kind of the backside there
Right, there it
and
goes.
down. Yeah,
Just went down.
he's staying hidden.
You don't want the paparazzi
Yeah.
checking him out.
But yeah, I saw the yellow bird fly in there, and I think they said they had morning here a couple days ago. So, but they didn't seem like morning. I probably would have seen a gray head, even in flight.
Right. So let's see. So I didn't see the Wilsons. There's probably about 3 or 4 white-eyed vireos.
Yep, had a few of them.
There's your flycatcher again. He's like at
Yeah,
white-eyed
there.
vireos.
He's fly catching. coming in and out.
Oh, that's a good shot of my
Yeah, there
arrow.
he is. It might be a young bird. He's got a decent amount of yellow on his flanks.
Right. Oh, that's a nice shot right there.
Yeah, there he is. I wish this camera had a little better focus like here, but let's see. I'll try. And off he goes. Yeah, I'd say probably young willow / alder.
Looks like a finch.
House finch.
House or lesser? Lesser gold?
I was hearing lessers earlier. That one looked too big.
Too big for a lesser?
Yeah. Let's see if we came to the feeders. Get a little focus on the feeders. Those are just more house sparrows. Bunch more house sparrows. And I'm hearing the house finch again. I think we'll walk back towards the main road, get away with the main driveway, get away from the main trafficked road, and maybe walk down towards Sparrow Hole or one of the other feeding stations if I can get enough connection down there. So yeah, we'll pick up and go for a little bit of a walk again. Maybe if we're lucky we'll get that Baltimore Oriole by the field. Yeah, in a few months there'll be lots of different sparrows here hopping in and out of the grass. Usually lots of chipping, some vespers, savannas, white-throated, white-crowned, harrises. I'll definitely make a trip back here in the wintertime. Come to some of these feeding stations, see some sparrows. Warblers are fun, but they are hard to see in a camera. They move a lot. Sparrows hold still a bit more. Howdy. Right. Rest the arm. I'm hearing chickadees. Chickadee-dee-dee. And the gentle call of a diesel truck. Over here, let me check my connection. Take a second. Looks like things are still going. Cool. Connected and transmitting. I have not received any notifications otherwise, so I will just operate under the assumption that everything's working and continue talking to the air in front of me. Alright. Ew. Camera battery is getting a lot lower than I'd anticipated. So I'm going to attach yet another cable to myself so I can keep my camera running. Alright, this one plugs in here. Come on, plug in. Plug it in. There we go. This one plugs in. Down here. There we go. That should keep the camera running. Oh right, and I think running the camera off of an external power source keeps it from turning itself off, so that probably should have been doing that from the start anyway. Okay. On the road again. Again, the eastern phoebe is phoebeing away. Phoebe? Phoebe? And singing white-eyed vireo and the singing Buick's wren. Excuse me. That's the white-eyed vireo singing pretty close. Maybe we can get another split-second view of him. I see a vireo with a white eye. There he is. A couple little wing bars. Little yellow spectacles around a white eye. I think he flew over here somewhere. Yeah, he's hopping right up there. Dropped. There he is. Of course, I'm in another low internet zone when the birding is getting good. Is that him? No. There he is. He caught a bug. Nice. White-eyed vireo. Took a little recording myself. And he's hopped on over here. That's him fussing. That's me mimicking an owl, by the way. It's not a eastern screech owl that you're hearing. Yep, he's not wanting to come out. Maybe if we walk up a little bit, might catch him. He's in here somewhere. Yeah, he's hopping around right in this little clearing. I think he's right about there. Or maybe not. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's moving back in the brush. So I'm not sure how well the audio is picking it up. Are you able to hear that fussing trit 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 from the Vireo? Get some water. Excellent. Thanks for the audio report. Oh, and I am hearing a quite distant summer tanager. But that is the direction we're going. So since the Vireo seems to be moving back away, let's go see if we can find this tanager. It's I'd be very surprised if you could hear the summer tanager. It's pretty far off. But we'll see if we can get a little closer. Sounds like it's right over the parking lot. Oh no, he's behind us now. He's right up here. Aside for the other birders to pass. Summer tanager. Few adjustments. It seems like the tanager has moved on. find a little USB hub somewhere in here. Where'd it go? Quick second. Have to. Things are getting warm, so I've got to fire up my second fan. Keep my devices cool. Let's plug both of these things in here. And plug this back into the power. And we have cooling. Okay. Well, the tanager has moved on. The power is good on my devices. And we will continue our walk. Up we go. Yeah, another white-eyed vireo. Singing his cheap cigarettes. Got some quiet cardinal chips. Camera doesn't seem heavy until you have to carry it and the tripod one-handed. May have to take them up on the offer of a cart next time. Got a Carolina wren singing. Tea kettle, tea kettle, tea kettle. Take a little break here. I think I saw something fly across the road. There's a little guy. Something right in there. What are you? It's another flycatcher. And you are too far to tell for sure. It looks pretty yellow under there. It's another little empid. Couldn't tell if that yellow was just on the flanks or all the way across the belly. Possibly yellow-bellied flycatcher. See if we can get a little closer view. He was right in here. Here are titmice, and yet more white-eyed vireos. But I don't see our little flycatcher friend right now.
Going into the restroom, is that going to be in your view?
Oh no, I'll move it out of the view. That was a white-winged dove, flew out of the tree. Let's give it a second here, see what else might show up. Phoebes. Phoebes are being unusually uncooperative today. It's not coming out anywhere. Usually Phoebes don't stay hidden, but this one is. Still hearing the hummingbirds. Catch this a little more securely here. And we'll continue our walk and go down towards this another set of feeders. Oh, there's a nest. Doesn't look like it's in use anymore, and it looks fairly dilapidated, but I'd guess that that's a cardinal nest. Let me get my internet monitor running when I'm heading back into the forest. I can see how well my connection is looking. There's a swallowtail butterfly. Try heading down Thrasher Alley. And yes, I have actually seen thrashers down this alley before. Brown thrashers, to be precise, during migration. Spider webs. Onward. I need one of those belts that you see people who carry flags on horseback using, so I can just set my tripod in there and walk. Let's see. Oh, good. Looks like the feeders are unoccupied by birders for now. We're going to scare all the birds off as we walk in. But we'll set up in this little blind here and see what comes to the feeders here. Looks like the armadillos have been busy. The ground's pretty eaten up by them. We'll just come right in here. Down the camera. Alright. Yeah, the birds are going to be a little scared off for now, but they might trickle back in, hopefully. We'll give it a few minutes at least. Should at least get some white-winged doves. I know, exciting. I'm hearing what sounds like a red-shouldered hawk screaming in the distance, but it could just be blue jays. They like to mimic the red-shouldered hawks. Got titmice fussing. sounds pretty convincing for red-shouldered hawk. I think. But I've seen some blue jays do it pretty well. Let's see who's up here. White-winged dove. Even out my tripod a little better. There we go. I think while we're stationary at the feeders here, I'm going to swap back over to my zoom in bigger camera so we can get some close-up views, and we'll test out how the audio sounds without any traffic in the background. So dark in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay. Hopefully this will sound decent. I can't really tell by myself. I think it sounds good through my headphones. It's always hard to tell what you sound like while you're talking. Here. This place here is, many years ago, the first place I ever saw a black-headed grosbeak. And now I've had one visiting my own feeders a couple days ago. Here's a black vulture. And there's a chickadee on the feeders. Up a little bit, maybe. I think that's good. Maybe there, and then we do this. There. Is that any better? That's audio-wise. I think I got a little more focus onto my own microphone in front of my face. I'm not sure if I introduced any distortion to it. There's a chickadee. Common but cute. Nice little guy. Nice. The sign over here. Yeah, there's the titmouse. There we go. He's hitting the wrong buttons. Mouse does not want to hold still. I'm hearing house finches. That's sweep, sweep, sweep. Alright, good. I'm getting some reports that the audio is a bit better. Just have to be careful not to breathe too much on the microphone, because I'm already hearing feedback if I do that. Here's a titmouse. Now we are in the hybrid zone still, so calling the titmouse species is Ooh, I see something yellow over here. Little focus. This could be our yellow warbler. It is. There he is, or she. This looks like a female. Yellow warbler. Showing a little bit of an eye ring, but just very pale yellow. Where'd you go? You hopped. You hopped a little higher. And it just flew off. But we got a little look at her. Either a young bird or a female. Like a little drab. Males, breeding plumage males at least, have red streaks down their breast as well, and they're very vibrant yellow. This one looked like a female. Didn't have the indicators of a Wilson's. Wilson's looks a little bit more delicate, smaller bill, and males have a big black cap. The females, they don't have a black cap, but the coloration around the head still, you can get a feel that there could be a cap there, just in the different shades of yellow. And this one did not have it. This one was nice and wide-eyed, like a yellow warbler should be. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll come back and come down to the drip and take a bath. And we could get an actual look at the yellow warbler. There's something behind the drip. I'm seeing. What are you? You just see the bunting. Yeah, young painted bunting. See some of the green on it. It's starting to molt into its adult plumage, so I'd probably say a young female. But wouldn't put 100% on that. These juveniles go through a number of different plumage variations. You can see a little green. Oh, hello, lesser goldfinch. Beautiful male. Love these lesser goldfinches. So bright yellow with that contrasty dark back. When they fly, you can see more of the white in the wing. Right now it's just a few little feathers. And this is the female lesser goldfinch. Oh, male and female. How nice. Coming up to the drip. Go. Oh, look at him flutter. You can see that white in the wing really well there. And you can see they like to go right to the source of the drip. There's plenty of water down below, but birds sometimes feel exposed closer to the ground, especially birds that like to fly around like the goldfinches. They stay off the ground. Sparrows will go down into the water a little more, and most birds will go down into the water if they want to take a bath. But as far as getting a drink, if you have the drip raised up a little bit, especially if it's got some cover around it, you can get some of the more skittish birds to come in to the drip to drink straight from the source without feeling exposed on the ground. That young painted is still hopping around back in there. I think it's thinking about coming out to the drip, maybe. Let's look at it. I can find it in this camera. There he is, or she. Oh, there she is. Foraging on some of the tree bark. Yeah, there you can really see the green feathers starting to come in on the head and the back there. And yeah, you can still see just a little bit of the yellow right around the beak, around the gape of the mouth. Most young birds have that. Either yellow or orange or red. kind of as a homing target for the parents to stick food in there, and this one still hadn't completely grown out of it. So yeah, it's a young bird. And there's a cardinal. We had to have a cardinal at some point. I don't care how many times you see a cardinal, that's a pretty bird. Carolina wren singing. Oh, here's the bunting again. Of course, it flies off always as soon as I zoom in on it. It's moving towards the feeder. Sitting on top of the feeder. It's not where that seed is. See, there's house finches on the feeder right now. I think this little bunting might be a little wary of those house finches. So there you go. Now it's got the right idea. Getting some seed. Yeah, and there you can see the yellow around the beak. Up close and personal with a painted bunting. Maybe that's a little too close. That's just a very nice bird. I need to get some water. Carolina wrens are still singing in the background. Tea kettle, tea kettle, tea kettle. Let's see what else. We got more black vultures flying overhead. Just pigging out. Most of my painted buntings have left. Just, again, a few juvenile stragglers hanging around. But I think they're also packing on the energy to migrate south. Here's... Ooh, is this a blue-headed vireo? Come on, focus on the... Where's the bird? No, it's a white-eyed. Still a good look at a white-eyed vireo. You can really see those yellow spectacles and the white eye. Moving left. Where'd you go? There. There he is. Focus on the vireo. Oh, the white-eyed vireo is chasing a house finch around now. Interesting behavior. Don't know where he went. Yeah, he's down there. He's still chasing that house finch. See, there's the vireo in the middle. And the angry little house finch is sweeping at him. I don't know what he has against that house finch. Up there now. Still chasing the house finch. He's just going crazy chasing that little house finch. There's the house finch. The vireo finally left him alone. Real nice if that vireo came out and took a bath. around down in there. Might just be a female house finch. Or a young male. Yeah, house finch. See its head right there. Oh, bunting I think is back on the feeder. Yeah, there's the bunting. Let's look at those green feathers coming in. Oh, I think the vireo is on this. Oh no, vireo's flying over my head. Oh well. I'll look down here. See what's on the ground. House finches. That's where they all zoom in. There he is. Nice red male. About the average color for house finches around here. I've found that the further west you go, the more brightly colored the house finches get. So you go out like South Lano River State Park and you get some really bright colored house finches. I'd love to do a bird walk out there virtually, but they don't have internet. Barely even get a text message through out there. Unless someone wants to sponsor me with better mobile internet. Tesla, Starlink, hint hint. Anyone listening? Got a female cardinal. And what's above her? Female house finch. Very streaky breast. Notice the curved top of the bill, called the culmen. It's the front part of the bill. That's how you can tell them easily apart from sparrows and from birds like Cassin's finch that have the top of their beak straight. Little focus. There. Yeah, you can see it's got a little curve to the beak, a little rounded on the top. A little short and stout. See how they're very dexterous with that beak and their tongue, and they can get the husks right off of those sunflower seeds. Just peel them right away. Yeah, even the common birds are nice to sit and watch, get a close-up view of. Great if I could find one that was banded, but no bands on that bird leg. There's cardinals sneaking up behind me. And the Carolina wren. It's just flown in. Where are you, little wren? Flying behind the drip. Somewhere in there. Oh, it's what? It's coming to the feeder. Carolina wren. You're not a seed eater. Maybe they've got little bits of fruit in there. Or there's insects coming to the birdseed. Usually wrens, they like suet. Maybe this one actually is starting to eat seed. Let's see what you're getting. It's picking something out of there. Let's see, got a question. Do we ever get purple finches in Hayes County? Usually not. There's a few records I've heard of them. I think there's been some like out at Pedernales Falls State Park. It's not Hayes, but close. But yeah, purple finches or Cassin's finches would both be very rare out here. In the wintertime, do check your finches, because they might not be as rare as people think, just because a lot of people look at a finch and instantly dismiss it as a house finch. Don't check to see if it's really deep purple, which covers a lot more of the body than the house finch. The streaking is a little bit different on the females, and the bill is different. But for the most part, 99.9% of the finches that you see here in Central Texas are going to be house finches. But you never know what might show up. Weather's getting weird, birds are moving around, so always take a few seconds to glance over your finches and see if there's anything weird there. But yeah, for the most part, no purple finches. They're a little further north, and no Cassin's finches. They like higher altitude, and they're further west. There's a house finch. So if this were a purple finch, it would be a much deeper purple, and it would go further down the flanks and down the back. Female cardinal. Nice big orange beak. I think there's been an occasional paraluxia out here, but they're pretty rare up here. But still, doesn't hurt to check your cardinal looking birds, see if they have a yellow bill instead of orange, and instead of being pointed it would be more rounded. So far, no overheating of any of the equipment, which is great. I guess there's a difference between birding Central Texas in the 70s and 80s and birding Arizona when it's over 100 degrees. Batteries are all falling out. I need to get a more secure battery pouch for all my stuff here. Battery's getting a little warm. Yeah. It's not on fire. Let's see, are you just a house finch? Yeah, we're just a young house finch. The pine siskins should be around, coming back, if they're not already at your feeders. In the wintertime, they're very localized, so some people get tons of pine siskins, some people get none. But in the next month or so, they should be returning to their wintering areas. House finch and cardinal, little size comparison for you. Mice flying in. Wish that little yellow warbler might come back. So far, no luck there. cardinals, house finches. We'll give it another minute or two here. Then we'll walk out into the bigger field, see if we might get a look at something like a Buick's wren, maybe a few early arrival sparrows. The field sparrows have been coming back in. At least we might get one of those, maybe an early chippy. Maybe if we're super lucky we might get a yellow-billed cuckoo. Or that Baltimore Oriole that flew over earlier. It'd be nice to get a decent look at him. Finch. There's a little hummingbird just came down to perch. There it is. A young male blackchin. Yeah, pretty long beak. Young male blackchin. Long decurved beak, longer than the width of the head. So he's starting to get a little bit of his gorget in. And off he goes. And we got another birder coming up. Seeing anything out there? Okay. Oh, nice. Bird. Had a young painted bunting is all that's really been showing up here. Yeah. Yeah, he's been coming up to the feeder every now and then. Had a brief view of a yellow warbler. Oh. Oh, nice. Had lots of white eyes, but so far none of the others.
Food or?
The painted was coming up to the little feeder over here, but the warbler, he just kind of worked his way along the edge. I think it was a young female that's starting to molt in, a little bit more green plumage, but it could be a first-year male. It's pretty gray overall. Not a bright male. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen an adult male for probably the last month. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting because the green on the back is still the young green. So it's still the dark green.
think I might walk down by that pond and see if I can get some of those vireos. Switch over to the other camera. Yep.
What microphone are you using for your setup there? Your microphone?
Oh, well, this is just a headset, and this is a little Shure lens hopper.
Okay.
But I'm doing a live stream right now, so it's on Facebook and YouTube.